Welcome back, folks. My name is Rudy. Today's conversation is going to be a cautionary tale, and I'll have some more videos about what's going on with this new era of Kickstarter and all this craziness people going on. So just want to let people know this is important. So it's 1995. Magic the Gathering had just gone mainstream with 4th edition Ice Age Homelands Chronicles. Magic was everywhere. LGSs popped up. Kids were playing in school cafeterias, gyms, and playgrounds. Companies poked their heads out of their carrot holes and saw nothing but dollar signs as far as the eye could see. They called up the printers and the rainforest cried. Over 40 games were released in 1995 alone. I don't know if that's exactly accurate, but I would assume that is around there. So, as we head down the road once again in 2021, some of us prefer to loot the corpses of the past. My buddy Rich and I focus on long-forgotten games on our YouTube channel called Dead Decks. Sitting before you today is one such beauty, the DarkAge. Fantastic art, including well-known MTG artist Braum, chase cards, and decaying stenches of hope. So, folks, we're going to crack some of this. This is a very symbolic video because I'm not saying everything coming out today is going to go to zero, but what I am saying is most of everything today probably will eventually go to zero. We are in the midst of a Kickstarter boom revolution ever since the Flesh and Blood and MetaZoo train kicked off and actually was able to make it. And now everybody and their mom, sister, and gerbil is going after it. So today we're going to revisit something from 1995 called DarkAge, the old feudal lords. So this was the only product. There was a start. There was never an expansion or anything like that for this product. This was literally the only product ever made for this card game. I mean, they made some like a starter deck with it kind of thing, but there were no expansions. There were no additional sets created. Look at this thing. I'm pretty sure that's a cheese grater, okay? So, long story short, DarkAge is, from what I gather, I remember this a long time ago. I like this packaging. This is a card game based on kind of one of those end-of-the-world type zombie apocalypse, post-apocalyptic type things. We won't crack every single pack, but we'll go through enough where everybody can get an idea of what's going on. And this was a card game on the backs of the boom of Magic. This was a very interesting card game because you had like a leader and you had to pay the cost to bring out like another creature or card to battle your opponent. It was a very interesting thing. Booster pack contains 10 cards, which can be added to your DarkAge deck. Suggested retail, $2.79. I know, right? So this is what it all looked like. Where was this printed and packaged in the USA by Braum and Luke Peterschmidt in 1996. So, feudal. So let's take a look here. Let's just kind of get a feel, because I know some of you out there may not know what's going on, but you'll recognize this. A lot of people might recognize this very old card game. And again, there's nothing new coming back. They're not making new sets all of a sudden. But I just wanted to share some of the historical aspects of the 90s, because this is, I mean, the artwork on this stuff is second to none unique, man. So, some of the things that catch me off guard right immediately is I noticed the name of the card is not on the top of the card. The name of the card is vertically written on the right side. Okay, so it looks like this card has a life. What does that say in the middle? Control, skill, and what is that? Weapon. So you have 4 attributes on the side there. You've got an 11, it looks like 6, 10, 12, an 8, and 11. And then you've got, looks like the ability here. Then, of course, you got the artwork, the artist, the year, and, of course, a trademark. And WT, is that on every card? That might mean something. WR, okay, so that does mean something. Okay. And this game is kind of in the iconic category mostly because of the art. And there is actually people out there that still collect and hoard these things. So let's enjoy the beauty of some of these things. So you're supposed to pick like a leader, and you have to pay like the cost or control or some skill to bring in your cards. Like, look at this art, man. Oh my, can you imagine artwork like this today? So Banshee Warrior, holy smokes. Bluff. All right. And oh, look at this sign. Okay, so this must be a different type of card versus because it doesn't have the character or creature kind of attributes on the side. This just says skill on the side. Okay. I know there are items in the game, so I guess this is a weapon. I'm assuming that you can kind of equip, and so you have to pay the supply. I remember something about you have to pay the supply cost. Like your leader has to pay for the supplies to get this card on the board, and you would like put it underneath your character or something. I don't know if you would put it like this mount or something. It's a fascinating thing, man. So we got some grenades here. Yes, folks, you'll notice here, if you use, make an additional DF roll, which hits on an 8 discard after you. So there again, a lot of dice rolls, a lot of the D&D flavor. But God, look at these cards, man. Look at Pastor. Okay, Pastor. And oh, can you imagine? They would never do stuff like this today. Theater? Wait, THREA. Treats? Threats? We got, what do we got? Wild. See, it's tough to read vertical, but it's interesting because the fact there's no text on the top, you can actually put the artwork more higher and extend the artwork lower. The framework is interesting. One of the things that's interesting, I like the weapon concept. Like the supplies to give your character or whoever's on the board to give them or equip them the weapon. Corrosive fuel spray. That's it. I don't know. I don't even think there's rarities on this. I'm not seeing any rarity symbols or anything. Okay, leadership. Okay, so it's a skill-based card. This character is in your defense pool. Take a task roll. See, I have no idea the details on that. And marksman. Okay, so that is pack 1. Again, the craziest thing about it is, even if you go on eBay right now and type in, like, DarkAge booster box or anything, there's essentially almost nothing available. The supply of these things after, oh my God, 2022 from 95, 96, the supply is essentially just nuked at this point. I mean, there's just no supply left. And I don't know if it's because people who have them don't want to sell them, or if people just, at this point, there's just no value. I don't know. All right, so we got Strike to Stun. We got Riot in the Streets. So instant. So we got some speed. Maybe they're okay. That's interesting. I haven't seen that. Whoa, Pyro. Look at, holy crap. A cigarette and artwork on a card. Ladies and gentlemen, when's the last time a cigarette in the United States was an artwork on a card? Oh my God. All right, we got Dodge and Hide. Okay, skill card. Whoa. We got Grinner. That is creepy, man. Look at that art. Oh God. Oh, Bounty Hunter. Look at this chick. Look at it. Is that the revolver? I think she's got a revolver with a silencer. Okay. With some crazy, is that a snake tattoo going down to, okay, that's unique. I'm sure this video is going to do real well on YouTube. It's going to get buried. Know the Land, that's pretty cool. And whoa, Bloodless Leader, a victory card? Collect 1 VP if none of your combatants were wounded in combat. You must defend with at least one. Is there anything on the backs of these? No? Okay. That's wild looking. Look at that. Okay, that's something different. And what do we got here? City Leader. And last but not least, a Hellstorm. So, before I go to the next pack, well, I guess I'll talk while I'm doing it. It's just, right now, everybody is just trying to buy into all these new Kickstarters because nobody knows what's going to happen. So the flow of money and people speculating is like an all-time high. And I personally believe most people speculating on today's Kickstarters and games and all these things, they've never been a part of the 90s boom. They're not aware. They don't remember. It's been over 20 years. It's probably a different generation of people at this point. And they're not aware of how many things went to zero. Seriously. Ooh, Sonic. I love these weapon item cards. Those are really cool. Lucky Shot. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Holy smokes. What does it say? Initiate of Merc, and Trainer. Okay, so we have a dominatrix, black spandex trainer woman who looks with really, really long legs. Okay, and that is a skill card, not a character type thing. We got Wrecker over here, and look at this instant over here. We got Bribe the Recruit. I'm assuming bribe as in we got some weapons, we got money, maybe an attractive Lady of the Night's shoes or something. And last two of this, ooh, look at this stuff. Look at this, okay. Venomous. Look at, oh my God. And we have a spinning spear that costs 4 supply to get into the field. Wow. It's just, I think the biggest thing is like seeing some of these, like, I mean, let's take this, I mean, just like no company in today's culture and era would even have the stomach and the risk tolerance to produce or publish something like these. Like, they're so gritty and just, this stuff, it reminds me of like a Fallout video game, but in like a card game form. It feels like Fallout to me, like that kind of a vibe to it. And look at this stuff. Okay, so and again, it makes you wonder, why is nobody in these new Kickstarters, why is nobody like doing stuff like this? Like making it more adult oriented, real risque, like don't hold back on anything. There obviously must be a reason to it. Look at this. Okay, cool. A targeter weapon. Is that like go in your arm or something? We got Purity. Wow. She is wild looking. All right. And whoa, get Shorty. Wow. Look at the tats on this guy. And it's funny. He's even wearing a face mask. 20-something years ago, he's got a mask on. And Tech Ear. Oh my God. That's what I was telling you guys. This stuff is like, and again, I appreciate you guys sending me this box just to enjoy and go through and show you guys and share with the world. We've seen that one. Look at this, a Power Fist. Like, oh my God. And Wrecker. Is that a, wow, okay. And holy smokes, Find Weak Spot. A skill-based dominatrix. Is this the same dominatrix woman without the spandex? So I just want to stop there. And I wanted to kind of discuss before we end the video, because again, now that we're getting pretty long in the video, I just want people to understand. I've got some more videos on this topic coming up. People need to understand about, you know, I think like the story of Flesh and Blood beginnings in the MetaZoo boom and everything, and even some of these other newer games that are doing pretty well. And then of course the new speculative ones that have not really fully come to market yet, but are still in the Kickstarter pre-post phase, and people are just throwing, you know, six figures, hundreds of thousands to over $1 million in some of these startups. I just, you know, I don't know if people that are doing, I don't know who all these people are who are doing it, but I'm extraordinarily confident in my bias and belief that these are not the type of people that, you know, I don't know, 25 years ago were part of this era. I just don't believe, and I just don't buy into the concept that, and wow, the card quality is really nice on these. Wow, these are printed in the US. These aren't even like a Cardamundi product, weren't they? Who printed these? Like this wasn't even a Cardamundi thing. It's just printed packaged by USA DarkAge. It doesn't even say. Okay. And I just, you know, I'm trying not to be bearish and overly negative, but I'm just trying to really tell everyone, people need to really cool off and calm down, because that whole 10xing your money and making tons, that was an anomaly. You know, a lot of patrons, a lot of people, and the people involved last few years, they got either lucky, they got in early, they made a lot of money, but that's not going to be a repeatable thing. You know, and I'm not going to pick on any particular Kickstarter, but just understand, I would say almost every single one of these new Kickstarters have no major sources of capital, no networks with distribution, no major distributors to funnel this nationwide to LGSs. No LGS is just going to buy into it because they see a Kickstarter with a lot of money. Because when it gets to that level of distribution, starting it, you know, it's a whole different animal. The risk shifts big time. And a lot of these startups don't have a pipeline. They don't have a second set coming 6 months after the Kickstarter. They don't have a third set they're working on in R&D right now. There is no team of 10, 20, 30 plus people running these things. There's no one running the accounting, logistics, working with the printers. There's no, you know, I don't mean to be derogatory, but a lot of these Kickstarters are literally like one or two people working on a passion project, which, hey, dude, you know, go for it, man. But just understand where these hundreds of thousands to $1 million+ in Kickstarter are going. You know, I mean, some of these things, they're going to take the money and run. Nothing's ever going to happen. I assure you, Kickstarter is known, and GoFundMe is known for the money just kind of disappearing and nobody remembers. You know, and I'm trying to be very cautious in this video because I'm not trying to be mean about it. But people just really got to cool off and stop saying, dude, I'm going to jump in this Kickstarter, Rudy. I put $5,000 in each of these Kickstarters, maximum this and that. Got every family member involved. And, you know, when I get these Kickstarter boxes, dude, I'm going to flip them all on eBay, and my $5,000 is going to be $150,000. And that could happen. And for some people, that will happen. But for most of the people, that's not going to happen. And the only thing that's going to be discussed is the one or two people that did hit it big, and no one's going to discuss the hundreds of DarkAge type of products from the past with cheese graters on the back. And this is, I mean, I don't know the balance and the mechanics of the game. I have to put a lot of time learning how combat and mechanics and all these attributes, skills, phases of turns, card draw, hand size, win conditions, to really go through and have a good grasp of if this game is really good or not. I don't know. See, here's the thing. Then I'm going to cut the video off. In the 90s, everybody saw the massive success of Magic. It revolutionized everything. It was a black swan event. It was a once-in-a-lifetime, unpredictable, mind-boggling, rippling impact. It can be attributed to like the invention of the internet, the invention of the wheel on a car, the invention of the smartphone. I mean, some of these things were so revolutionary. It is a black swan monstrous event because now we look back and go, well, gee, godly, how do we live without it? But people don't talk about the literally thousands of companies and people who were nuked along the way who went to zero. And that's what I want people to be cautious about.